Hello, hello, hello. This is me doing a video. I want to do a review on these Kirkland Signature digital hearing aids. I bought these at Costco. Costco in Auburn Hills. And it's my first set of hearing aids. And my doctor, he wanted me to go to the local place where he goes. But that was going to cost me like $6,000. And these didn't, okay? What did I pay for these? $15.99 for the hearing aids. All the sessions and the exams and even the follow-ups are all included. Now I have to drive about 40 miles to get to the Costco. But it's worth it to me. To me, it's worth it. I don't know. It really helps me out. And it's cool to be able to hear, and I can hear better. And oh, there's, quit looking through that stuff. Okay, I hadn't gotten this out since I bought it, so you know what's in here, you know. Extra batteries, cleaning kit, and stuff. Okay, but anyways, these things are just slicker than snot on a rag. There's two of them for $15.99. It's not $15.99 each. And I was worried about not getting good care at Costco. My sister went there and told me, oh, you got to check them out. They're great. And she's had been wearing hearing aids for better than 15 years. I'm just starting. And I was worried about not getting the right care. But you know what? I got, I think, better care than I was going to get from the doctor. How I know that is I went down there just to scope the place out the first time. And I didn't have an appointment, nothing like that. I just walked in, talked to the people. When they found out how far I drove, they just fell over themselves backwards. They goes, well, we'll work in around some other people. I said, that's cool. And so they give me my exam and all that. And they spent about an hour and 15 minutes with me. And one of the things I thought was very cool is they have a test set of hearing aids. I mean, they put new ends on them and stuff so they're not sticking other people's earwax in your ear, but they let me walk around the store with it for a while. So I was there for over a couple hours total. But they let me walk in around the store and listen and see it. Because at first, to me, they were very confusing a little bit. And it seemed a little loud. But they weren't set up, I don't think, to my prescription yet. Anyways, so I goes there and I did that, and it was just amazing. And my kids, we went to Florida back in March for a business trip. And so I got to get nagged at all the way down there and back because, you can't understand. And I didn't understand people. I didn't realize how much I was pulling myself away from being involved in anything socially because I just couldn't understand what they're saying. You just sit there, and, like if you had to go to a bar with some people, you know, like a business, I would just sit there and be quiet because that's all I could do. You know, because I couldn't understand them. So anyways, so this is cool. The hearing aid part of it is great. They give me good service. When I had the appointment my doctor had made for me at the audiologist place here locally in my hometown. And when I was at Costco, I decided to buy them. They have a 6-month, 180 days. If I'm not happy with these, I can take them back on a 179 day. They'll give me all my money back and tell me have a nice day. How do you beat that, right? How do you complain about that? I can't. And so what I did is I went and jumped in because it was a lot less expensive, and I was just impressed with the service I got. And I know how to get service out of a retail establishment or something I need. And I know how to deal with it when I'm having problems. With doctors' offices and stuff, you have no way to get any help. And their office people are nasty to you or blow you off. You're just hanging out there in the wind, okay? The only thing a part of the doctor's office that works well is the billing. They make sure you get a bill over and over again. So I give it a whirl. I bought them. They said, oh, come back in 2 weeks and they'll be here. I did. They fit me. When I first hooked them up, they were quite loud, and I got to see a technician. I didn't get to see an audiologist that day. And they got this cool audiologist working there at Auburn Hills. He's an older gentleman, and I seem to click with him. I really like him. And because I didn't want to buy another phone, because I don't know why, but these damn things, and they said all of them are only compatible with friggin' iPhones, not Android. Well, I had a Samsung phone, which I had for years, and I liked it. I took care of it. I knew how to use it. I mean, I can use any of them. It's just I don't want to learn it again. Well, so I went home. I didn't buy any of I wasn't going to get a different phone and all that good shit stuff. And I went back for my 2-week checkup, and I told him, yeah, I'm still having little problems here. In the left ear, I can't hear as good as that one. Well, I've got half hearing, better than half my hearing gone in the left ear, like maybe 20% of it in the right ear. He goes, well, we got to tune it up a little. He sat in there and he made that graph match my prescription and uploaded it to my hair. He did it 4 or 5 times to get it perfect. And the difference is night and day. I mean, oh. And then he told me, he goes, what kind of phone you got? I goes, oh, I got a Droid. He goes, man, you really need to pick up an iPhone. You don't have a new one. Anything 6 or above will do it. And I ended up with an iPhone 10X. That's what Verizon got me a deal on. But anyways, I hadn't heard music like that in years. I mean, I don't think I ever heard all the music. But I started streaming on. Oh, I love that. He told me, you know, there's a device that you can hook to your TV too, so you can, or you could hook it to your computer, and you could. It comes over your hearing aids. And man, I got to tell you, once I started streaming that music and how clear it was, and it just. You can be anywhere and listen to me, or in my case, I like to listen to talk radio. I can walk through a store or whatever, and nobody else can hear it because there are little voices in my head, right? And it's wonderful. It was worth getting that phone. I'm still learning how to use the iPhone. I've got it 90% down. There's some things I like about it. The other things I still don't like about it. It's like from the text messaging screen on my Samsung, I could just click call, and I could call the people. Now I got to go out of that, and it's just... Apple isn't as easy to use, but whatever, it works. But they streamed, and it controls the thing. And the newest thing I picked up, I went down there, I called them and ordered it, and I thought it was odd that I couldn't just buy it off their website and have them just ship it to me. It's a deal that hooks to your TV. It's designed for. It's called a Smart Transmitter 2.4. Can you guys read that? And it was like $159, so it wasn't that expensive. And so I goes, okay. He told me, oh, you'd like it. Okay. So once I got to where I was hearing music so well, it's like, well, damn, I wanted to use it on the computer because I got a TV sitting here, and we pay for Dish Network for my wife, but I hardly ever would watch it because what I always found that right when it gets interesting, when you want to really listen to it, you can't quite hear them because I always thought people were talking lower, but that's where my hearing. Anyways, so I hadn't watched TV in forever, and anything I wanted to do, I just stream. And so I hooked it up to the computer originally, and it worked slicker and snot on a rag. It's only got one issue, which I'll live with. When you have nothing hooked to it, when there's no audio, like if you mute the TV or something, it picks up just a little bit of audio hum, okay? And that drives me nuts, because I know that's usually from an unfiltered power supply, or a ground issue, something like that. But it's gone the minute you turn the audio back on. It's like it's trying so hard to suck that audio in, and you hook it up through the earphone piece, so it's not got a large audio sample. But I couldn't leave that alone. You know, I had to move it up. So I picked up one of those, and it uses RCA plugs on the back of the unit where it plugs. Here's the unit right here. These are, I don't know if you guys are amateurs. These are ferrite beads trying to get the noise out of the audio, but it didn't help me. I was going to turn this way. You guys see this? These things here, they didn't help. I probably should take them off. We use them in RF situations, keep RF out of microphone things. But it's just a simple unit. Once it detects audio, then this green light comes on and it's transmitting. And I can get out of the barn. It doesn't like to go through the metal side of the barn, of course, but I mean, I can go all over the place with it. And it runs off 5 volts because I can run it off my solar power stuff. It's a nice little unit. It also hooks up with these other fancy things. It's using light. I hooked it up to the TV. It worked like that, but it overrode everything. So what I did is I couldn't leave well enough alone. Once I got it and used it, I got, lack of a better term, horny for more, okay? So I picked up a switch right here. I'm holding the camera, guys. It's going to be bumpy. Hang on, I gotta turn the viewfinder. I'm also learning how to use a camera we picked up for that Florida trip. And I'm going to try my best to do some infomercials for my stores. Anyways, this camera needs a little more crap on it you can deal with. It's got a strap on it you never use, but it's always in your way. All right, here we go. Those are called RCA plugs. Now this switch also would switch video, which I'm not doing. I'm just using it for audio. But what I've done is I've hooked it up so number one, well, farthest away over there is the big TV, which I don't use a lot, but sometimes I do. Part of the reason because I never hear it. Okay, the big TV, that's one. Number two jumps into this TV here. This is a monitor or TV. Number three is the computer. Number four, if I want to, switches up here to my Flex HF rig, which if you're not a ham, you don't understand what that is, but it's a low frequency single side, well, it'll do other modes too, but mostly single sideband transceiver. Okay, now I don't know what it's going to do. I haven't transmitted with it hooked up yet. I've listened on it. When I kick in that, and I rarely ever run full power, but that is capable of putting out 1500 watts. It'll put out 1200 watts clean, and I normally run at about 950 is where I run it. But anyways, so well, I might get some feedback when I hit the transmit switch, and that's to be expected. If it does, then I'll have to work hard on, putting more ferrite beads in line and finding other ways, or just simply muting it when I transmit. I could do that. So, but I got to tell you, if you're having some hearing problems, I was ignoring it. I decided I wasn't going to buy them because I wasn't spending $6,000. It wasn't worth that much to me. Not that I couldn't, but I wasn't going to give them $6,000 and then get nothing. Oh, when I went to cancel that appointment for the regular hearing doctor, remember, I went down to Costco, didn't have an appointment. They worked me in. They spent at least an hour with me. It took me longer than that because I worked between their customers had appointments, which is fine. But they spent an hour with me, and I didn't have to pay them anything for it. But more importantly, they spent an hour. Now, my health insurance would have paid for a large amount of the bill to the regular hearing aid people. Not the hearing aids, just their office visits, okay? But as I'm waiting on hold, I call them, get put on hold, which is fine. And I'm reading the paperwork a little more clearly. They had only allocated me 15 minutes for that appointment. I had like 7 or 8 pages of crap I had to fill out. Of course, all your billing information because I got to get the money. And they were only going to give me 15 minutes of their valuable time. That's all I was worth to them. So I felt pretty good about canceling that appointment. And I like these things. I like them. They're good. I mean, I haven't had other hearing aids. I'm just saying these work good for me. I'm sure there's other ones out there that work good, okay? But these weren't even the most expensive ones. They were one of the cheapest ones because they had a pair for $2,500. And when I don't know anything about something I'm buying, I try to go in what's called in the middle of the road. I don't buy the cheapest. I don't normally buy the most expensive. I try to get in the middle of the road. Because the cheapest to me means you're going to be buying it again. The most expensive means, oh, you're paying for a name or some bullshit like that. So middle of the road is usually where you're happy. Well, the guy told me, he goes, there really isn't any advantage over these of yours. Your hearing isn't that bad yet. These will work fine for you. And they have so far. They really have. I like how I control them with my phone. Like when regular hearing aids, regular walking around, it's on automatic mode. Or I can click like these. When I want to watch this, I just tell them on TV mode, it switches over to that. Like if I'm driving down the road and my granddaughter's sitting next to me, I still have a little trouble hearing her, but I actually took her with me last time we went to Costco. She was out of school. And I goes, why do I keep having trouble hearing her? He got her to talk a little bit because she talks so quiet. And, speak up, yell at me. But anyway, so I can control the microphone. So I can tell I want to listen just to my right and blank out everything else around me, which gets rid of the noise like you can't believe. I've been in a couple of places where we were in a large group, like watching something, going to a concert for my granddaughter or whatever. I could blank out everything around me and behind me and just focus on the front. And what's cool is I hear behind me now, which I never heard before, because this has a bunch of microphones all the way around. It's really cool. So I'm telling you, if you're looking at these hearing aids, I know there's a lot of stuff, because I watched a lot of videos. There are a lot of people say, oh, don't go to Costco. I got to tell you, I went and got a membership so I could go there, because I normally wouldn't go to their club. It's a long ways away. I go to Sam's. It's closer. But they did good for me. They really did. And my sister was right. She drives all the way from Tawas to Auburn Hills, which is 150, 200 miles. I mean, she does other things when she's down here too, okay? I mean, she doesn't do just that one thing, but I am impressed. I am impressed with it. I like it. I'm glad I bought it. The streaming is, to me, everything. Now, yeah, I eat up some batteries. Because they say if you use the streaming, the batteries won't last as long. They're true. You're supposed to get a week. If you just use the hearing aid, you get a week out of it. So I get about half a week out of a little battery. But these things are dirt cheap. Okay? And it's worth it to me to hear. So I just change them twice a week. I mean, I go to the gym, which I go to the gym 3 times a week now. And I get to listen to, I can watch YouTube, or I can listen to YouTube, I can listen to music. I can listen to anything I want to. Like, I love Rush Limbaugh. I don't love the guy, but I like to listen to him. Okay, I get a lot of information. And for anybody out there to think, oh, Rush is crazy, you're an idiot. No, it's not how it works. When Rush got famous, it wasn't because we were all mind-numb robots following Rush. It's because he was the first guy we ever heard in the media that believed the way we did. It was about time to hear something we liked instead of the guy on the TV or the radio all telling you, oh, you're wrong and you got to listen to this. And no, I don't, or believe this. I don't wish to. I believe what I believe. So anyway, if you're having trouble with your hearing, go talk to the folks at Costco. I mean, I don't know if everyone around has got the good people in it. If you go there and they don't treat you good, go to a different Costco. It's worth a drive. But I'm telling you, they did good for me. They did excellent for me. I got no complaints at all. Okay? And I love what I can hear in here. It's wonderful. And I'm working out in the garden and stuff. Heck, shooting, I know I haven't done any shooting videos. I got to do some. What I do is I put just these little plugs in my ears. It's on a spring-loaded deal. And I turn the microphones down on my phone all the way. That works as good as anything else. I can listen to music while shooting a full-powered gun without a suppressor. It's really cool. I don't normally do it because I like to hear what's going on. Sometimes there's somebody around me I'm talking to. But anyways, if you're having some hearing problems and you're getting to become an old fart, like some of us, I won't mention anybody. Must be the dog. Must be you we're talking about. But give them a try, because if you hate them, you can take them back. So even if you just hate the idea of hearing aid, not theirs, they don't care why. If you're not happy, they get them. And I think why they do this, I think they do it just to get older people in the store. Because, I mean, I went there a few times now, and you can't get out of the store without spending $150 other junk. So, I mean, every time I come in, yeah, they give me a little free service there, but they're making something off what I'm buying. I don't know how much, but I'm sure not enough in their eyes, but I'm liking it. So, there we are. That's my little word. This is a review on the Kirkland Signature Digital Hearing Instruments. I don't know if Premium 8.0 means anything, but that's what it says. And I bought them from Costco. And put me under the happy column. Goodbye. Hopefully I can figure out how to add, well, I know I can figure out how to add it to it. But whether I can get it to re-upload, I can do it or not, again or not, I don't know. Anyway, had a little problem. You know the hum I told everybody about on my hearing aids? Well, I'm pretty close to nuts already. It drove me over the edge, so I had to do some working on it. I picked up a couple of these. That's all they had in stock at Best Buy. But they're, what are they called? Isolation, loop isolators. Ground problems where my home was coming from. Any one of my devices, I got 4 devices here, I could plug in. As long as it's the only thing plugged into the switch, I didn't have any problem. It's clean. But when I had more than one thing plugged in, like on a TV, let's say the commercial come and you hit mute, oh, the hum was just, it was getting, to me, I thought it was getting worse, or I'm getting more sensitive to it. Anyway, I did a little bit of figuring out, and we've had to use some of these loop isolators on our RF stuff. And I thought, well, hell, give them a twirl. They're only 15 bucks. So, and it worked. There's no, I've got the TV muted right now in my ears, and it hasn't hummed at all. Everything's wonderful. So I goes, well, I got to amend that review I did. And it's not that this device is bad. No, this is a ground fault problem, hooking all this stuff together. It's got to do with power supplies. If these things were battery operated, there wouldn't be a problem. So it's not that this unit is just fine. I could plug one thing at a time to it. It was clear as a bell. It's when I wanted to plug in 4 things and be able to switch back and forth. So I just wanted to give everybody a heads up, because they're easy to hook up. All they do is they've got 2 RCA plugs you plug into your switch, and then you plug your source, which in this case is the computer for me, into here. And there's some of these I'm gonna, in fact, I already bought them for my cabin up north and for the other two TVs here, that are work with a 3.5 millimeter plugs, which these are the only ones I get my hands on today. And besides, they're only 10 bucks on, or 9 something on Amazon. So that's all you got to do. And then there's no hum. So these little isolators, you can buy at Best Buy, ground loop isolator. You need one for each thing coming in. They have to go in line before everybody gets hooked together on the switch. Okay? So if you buy them at Best Buy, they're 15 bucks a piece. If you're running 4 different sources, you'd have 60 bucks into it. Most people aren't going to be running that many sources. Most people, like up north, I'm only going to be running a computer and the television. I only have one TV up there, and I won't run my ham radio stuff through it. Probably. Who knows? Maybe I will down the road. So there we are. I just wanted to add this hopefully to the video. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. It sure is beautiful here in Michigan. I was out there eating some of my tomatoes coming online. It was lovely. Goodbye.